the Casey studio at WETA. Students from Thomas Jefferson, Einstein, and Alexandria City meet today on It's Academic. Everybody, welcome to It's Academic, the world's longest-running TV quiz show, now in its 65th season, produced by Altman Productions and the great WETA.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University, all together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.
Thanks for being here. We are so happy that you have joined us for another edition of It's Academic. Hi, teams. As you know, we always begin with fast start. In this round, questions are worth 10 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. And by the way, the students don't see what you do on the screens at home. Here we go. We're counting on you to get all these questions right because all the answers must be numbers, not words. An Olympic decathlon has this many events. TJ, answer?
10.
Yeah. In 2 years, there are this many weeks. Yep, TJ.
104.
Yeah. There are this many inches in a yard. TJ.
36.
Correct. There are this many contiguous U.S. states. TJ.
48.
Yep. There are this many New England states. Yep, Alexandria.
6.
Yeah, that's it. This is the atomic number of oxygen. Yep, Alexandria.
8.
8's right. In baseball, a grand slam brings this many runs, Alexandria.
4.
4 is correct. There are this many feet in one statute mile.
5,280.
Correct, Alexandria. This is the minimum age for a U.S. president. Yep, TJ?
35.
Correct. The year 1969 saw the landing of this Apollo mission. TJ?
11.
11 is right. That was fast. A fast start. Let's recap the scores. Thomas Jefferson, 160 points. Einstein, 100 points. Alexandria City, 140 points. Let's meet these very impressive students. We begin with Thomas Jefferson High School of Science and Technology. Anthony, tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Anthony. I'm a senior right now, and I've been doing It's Academic for 1 year. Some things I like to do on the side. I like to run, I like to read, and I like to fish.
All right, fishing. That's nice for the mind and the soul. Hi, Arushi.
Hi, my name's Arushi. I'm a senior at TJ. This is my first year on It's Academic, and I really like to stargaze and use my telescope.
Oh, that's very nice. I like that too. Matthew, hello.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm an 18-year-old senior at TJ, and in my free time, I like to practice the martial art Krav Maga.
All right, guys, I've got questions for you. They're worth 20 points, but nothing off for a wrong answer. Were firemen delayed? Study this question and see if you can find the hidden name of what Austrian monk who founded the science of genetics.
Mendel.
That's it. Like catalyst. This anagram can be a catalyst for 20 points if you rearrange the letters to name what Utah state capital.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
You're right. Earl blank Buffett. Here we've combined the names of two men. Please fill in the blank to identify both the Chief Justice, who wrote the 1954 Brown decision, and the very successful businessman philanthropist.
Warren.
Warren's right. July 25th, 1898. It was on this date that U.S. troops invaded what Caribbean island that remains an American Commonwealth?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is correct. Indonesia, Latvia, United States. Which of these countries can best be described as an archipelago?
1.
Yep, Indonesia's right. My idea of an agreeable person is a person who agrees with me. These were the words of Benjamin Disraeli, the 19th century British Prime Minister who was a favorite of what long reigning English queen?
Victoria.
Victoria's right. Nicely done, TJ. 280 points. Over to Einstein High School from Montgomery County, Maryland. Hello, Alexandra.
Hello, I'm Alexandra. This is my second year on It's Academic, and throughout the year I work at an aftercare and I do a summer camp.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Hello, Maeve.
Hi, I'm Maeve. I'm a junior at Einstein, and this is my second year in It's Academic.
Wonderful. And what do you do?
I like to paint with acrylic paints.
Wonderful. Good. Good to have you. And Etienne, hi.
Hi, I'm Etienne. I'm a senior at Albert Einstein High School. This is my first year on It's Academic, and I like to play tennis and also like to do visual arts.
Guys, here are your questions. The abbess emerges. Study this sentence, and you can find hidden within it the name of the British metallurgist who devised and gave his name to what converter used in steelmaking?
Bessemer?
Yep, that's it. A photo scan. The letters in this phrase can be rearranged to name what Native American woman who allegedly saved the life of Captain John Smith?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is correct. Zachary blank Swift. Here we've combined the names of two individuals. Please fill in the blank and identify both our 12th president and a popular singer.
Taylor.
Yeah, you've heard of her, right? January 31st, 1958. On this date, the United States put into orbit its first Earth satellite, Explorer 1, which discovered what radiation belts composed of high-energy electrons that surround the Earth. Answer?
Astrobelt.
Nah, it's the Van Allen belts. Crab Beach, Bay of Pigs, Palm Island. Which of these was the site of the unsuccessful 1961 invasion of Cuba by anti-Castro forces aided by the United States?
Bay of Pigs.
You've got it. Among democratic nations, each new generation is a new people. These are the words of what Frenchman who wrote Democracy in America?
Lafayette.
No, Alexis de Tocqueville. Einstein, home of the Titans, 180 points. All right, to Alexandria City, home of the Titans. Hello, Max.
Hi, my name is Max. It's my first year on It's Academic, and I am the satire and opinion editor on my student newspaper.
That's awesome. Good to have you. Hello, Ethan.
Hello, I'm Ethan, a senior at Alexandria City, and I'm the president of our school's Putnam Club, where we attempt math problems from the William Lowell Putnam Mathematical Competition.
Wow, that's fabulous. And finally, Miles, hi.
Hello, my name is Miles. This is my first year on It's Academic, and I'm on the distance track and cross country teams.
All right, guys, here are your questions. Throw at Sunny. See if you can catch in this sentence the hidden last name of what American scientist who, with Francis Crick, won a Nobel Prize for his work with DNA?
Watson.
Yeah. Venice drop. You can drop Venice from the screen by rearranging these letters to name what U.S. city the capital of Rhode Island?
I don't know.
Providence.
Providence it is. Horatio blank Mandela. Fill in the blank with what name shared by the British admiral who won the Battle of Trafalgar and the first black president of South Africa.
Nelson.
You've got it. June 4th through 7th, 1942. During this World War II period, Japan suffered its first big defeat in what naval battle whose name refers to a point half the distance between two places?
Midway.
Midway, yeah. Apennine, Caucasus, Karakoram. The world's second highest mountain, whose formal name is Godwin Austen, is in which of these mountain ranges that extends into Pakistan and China?
3.
Yep, Karakoram. The monster stirred that demon, that fiend. This reference to the monster Grendel comes from what old Anglo-Saxon epic?
Beowulf.
Beowulf is right. Nicely done, Alexandria City. 260 points. And that does it for Mix and Match. We've got the picture perfect round next. In 1961, 9 high school students walked into a TV studio in Washington, D.C. to film the very first episode of It's Academic.
Good evening and welcome to It's Academic, the weekly program on which
Little did they know that over the course of the next 65 years, thousands of high school students would follow them onto the set and into broadcast history.
I think what has kept It's Academic on the air for so long, you had strong support from the schools, and we've had a strong community support.
There aren't a ton of outlets to be competitive in an academic setting.
It teaches composure, knowledge, wisdom.
And it's like an engaging, fun quiz show, but it also teaches you so much about the world in so many different facets.
Today, It's Academic is celebrating 65 years and is the world's longest-running TV quiz show. Thank you, students, schools, viewers, and fans. And remember, it's academic. Welcome back. We've got some pictures for this. Picture Perfect round questions are worth 20 points up or down. Once again, first team to buzz in gets to answer. Teams. This 7-year-old girl grew up to be what doomed French queen? TJ.
Marie Antoinette.
That is right. The young man knows the rules, but the old man knows the exceptions. These are the words of what doctor whose son served on the Supreme Court and who shared his father's first 2 names? TJ?
Oliver Wendell Holmes.
Yeah, nicely done. Unlike these flowers, roses without thorns fill the Garden of Eden, according to what John Milton epic poem, TJ?
Paradise Lost.
Yeah, that's it. What is the least common denominator? Alexandria?
4,800.
No, 60 of those 2 fractions. Here you see what large lake on the New York-Vermont border named for a 16th Einstein?
Champlain?
Yeah, that's it. Vermeer's Woman in Blue Reading a Letter is part of the permanent collection of a museum in what largest Dutch city? Yep, TJ?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam it is. Choice. What number of atoms is represented by this formula? 9, 11, or 16? Yep, TJ?
16.
That's it. Completed in 1766, this is what Roman goddess? Yeah, TJ.
Minerva.
It's Minerva. Well done, and that does it for Picture Perfect. Let's recap those scores. Thomas Jefferson, 400 points. Einstein, 200 points. Alexandria City, 240 points. So let's meet all of the coaches who help prepare these fabulous students for It's Academic. And we begin with Thomas Jefferson from Fairfax County. Arushi, who's behind you?
Yeah. Today we have our principal, Mr. Mukai, our director of student activities, Miss Conti, and our coach, Miss Fu.
Wonderful. It's great to see all of you guys again. Thanks so much for being here. And over to Einstein. Maeve, who's standing behind you?
This is Miss Colson. She's our coach and an IB English teacher at Einstein.
All right. You like her?
Yes.
That's great. I like your glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
And to Alexandria City, Ethan, who's with you?
Behind me, I have our wonderful trivia coach, Mr. Zahn, who's an AP Lit teacher at ACHS.
And he's a good guy, too?
He is wonderful.
Yeah. You've all been here for a while, and it's wonderful to see you. Thanks so much for supporting your teams. So we've got this little thing called a packet round that we're about to begin, and you know how it works. TJ, you go first. I ask you questions. Einstein, what packet should I ask them questions from?
3.
3, packet number 3. All right, questions are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. And of course, if you get all the answers right, there's a
25-point bonus.
Yes, thank you. Here we go. One substance that's useful in absorbing oil spills is ash from what sort of erupting mountains, such as Vesuvius?
Volcano.
That's it. Because it's free of light pollution, astronomers flock to Big Bend National Park to see thousands of stars visible in what Lone Star State?
Texas.
Yes. Only 31 when he died. A scholarly man willed his library and his name to what Massachusetts college, the oldest in the U.S.?
Harvard.
Here's your science question. Ascorbic acid. hydrochloric acid, hydrofluoric acid. Which of these acids is combined with nitric acid to produce a substance capable of dissolving gold and platinum? 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2 is correct. Unfortunately, there were no TV cameras around in 1923 when archaeologist Howard Carter unsealed the burial chamber of what ancient Egyptian king?
King Tut.
Yeah, could you have imagined that moment? Wow. One popular form of Japanese poetry is what kind of classic verse that has a total of 17 syllables in 3 lines?
Haiku.
Yeah. Here's your math question. Please perform the indicated operation.
36.
36 is right. A woman named Nanny, who helped lead an 18th century slave revolt, is considered a hero in what Caribbean nation where Kingston is the capital?
Jamaica.
Jamaica's right. 25-point bonus for Thomas Jefferson. Over to Einstein, Alexandria City. Packet 1 or 2?
1.
1. The last ruler of the Indian city Unagad arranged lavish weddings for his favorite dogs, but died in 1959 of what disease for which dogs now, by law, must be vaccinated?
Rabies.
Rabies is right. Today, people may opt for plastic surgery, but what 16th century explorer is remembered for his efforts to find the Fountain of Youth in Florida?
Soto?
Nah, Ponce de Leon. People wanting to have a blast might visit the town of Nitro in what Appalachian state whose capital city is Charleston?
North Carolina.
No, West Virginia. Here's your science question. Auxins, androgens, annelids. Which of these are common plant hormones which can stimulate cell growth in plant tissues?
Annelids.
Nope, it's auxins. After studying the new daguerreotype photography, inventor Samuel Morse trained what famed Civil War photographer in this technique? You've seen his pictures? It was Matthew Brady. The nickname Voice of New England was used in the 1930s to describe what poet who wrote Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening?
Frost.
Yeah, that's it. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression.
9.
9 is right. The River of Painted Birds is the meaning of the name of what South American country where much of the population lives in Montevideo?
Uruguay.
Yeah, you've got it. Einstein, home of the Titans, 280 points. And that leaves packet number 2 for Alexandria City. If you look at a copy of the Declaration of Independence, you'll note that the first and largest signature is of what patriot?
Hancock.
Hancock it is. Forget chocolate and vanilla. In Japan, you can get ice cream flavored with what kind of snaky fish that has an electric variety?
Eel.
Yeah, I've never had that. In ancient Mesopotamia, mathematicians relied on a duodecimal system based on what number? The square root of 144.
12.
Yeah. Here's your science question. Alcohol, oxygen, nitrogen. Which of these comes as a byproduct of yeast fermentation?
Alcohol.
Alcohol it is. Hamsters are found in many places now, but they originated in what Middle East country where Damascus is the capital?
Syria.
Syria's right. In Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the fictional submarine has what same name as the first U.S. nuclear submarine?
The Nautilus.
Yeah, here's your math question. Taking positive roots. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as an integer.
40.
Yeah. In an effort to avoid foreign entanglements, Congress passed the Neutrality Act in 1935 after Italy attacked what African nation?
Ethiopia.
Oh, nice 25-point bonus, Alexandria City. Stick around because we have the grab bag next. Did you know that electroencephalograms prove squirrels dream? Now you know. It's Academic has been on the air for 65 years. And over the decades, we've showcased thousands of high school students from all over the D.C. area. Today, It's Academic continues to celebrate education and remains a critical part of WETA's mission-focused programming. With the recent loss of federal funding for public media, we need your help now more than ever to support It's Academic. Please make a donation and become a friend of It's Academic today and help keep It's Academic on the air and streaming for our students and their futures. All right, it's time for the grab bag. Questions are worth 20 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Here we go. Of our first 6 presidents, the only one who had not been a law student was what general who started out as a TJ?
Washington.
Yeah. Over 2,600 new planets have been discovered by what NASA spacecraft named Alexandria? Answer 3, 2, 1. Name? No, Kepler. We were looking for Kepler. Among the British writers killed in World War I was H.H. Munro, better known by what pen name, TJ?
Saki.
Correct. On your screens. On the flag of Laos, the white disc represents a full moon against what major river that marks part of the border, TJ?
Mekong.
Mekong is correct. Caterpillars become butterflies through what process? That, Alexandria?
Metamorphosis.
You've got it. What French general crowned himself emperor in 1804, TJ?
Napoleon.
You're right. Choice. The elements whose compounds are more often colored are alkali metals, halogens, or transition elements. Anybody? It's transition elements. Beat you to it. On your screens, this is climate change famine. These words title a documentary showing the devastating effect of global warming in what East African country where Mogadishu is? TJ?
Somalia.
You're right. The Greek god Aeolus was custodian of what natural force? TJ?
Wind.
Wind it is. For $1,000 each, you can buy edible gold cupcakes in what D-initialed city? Alexandria.
Dubai.
Yeah, you're right. In degrees, what is the angle between 180 degrees and 360 degrees?
180.
No, whose sine and cosine are equal. It was 225. On your screens, this book tells of Marco Polo's many adventures, including his sojourn at the court of what, TJ?
Kublai Khan.
Yep, that's it. Only 150 meters long. The shortest international border may be the one between Botswana and what other country where Lusaka is capital? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, Alexandria.
Eswatini.
No, it was Zambia. According to one legend, there's $1 billion in 18th century treasure buried beneath the White Sands Missile Range in what southwestern state?
New Mexico.
Yeah, you're right. A modern London hospital has a ward named for what British nurse famed for her work? Alexandria. You're right. On your screens. The image of this Native American chief is believed to date from 1847 during the administration of TJ. Answer.
Polk.
Yep, that's it. According to classical mythology, a Phoenician woman named Dido founded what North African? TJ?
Carthage.
Carthage is correct. In As You Like It, Shakespeare traces the life of man through. And that's the end of the game. Keep it here. We're going to have these scores for you in just one moment. It's Academic has been on the air for 65 years. And over the decades, we've showcased thousands of high school students from all over the D.C. area. Today, It's Academic continues to celebrate education and remains a critical part of WETA's mission-focused programming. With the recent loss of federal funding for public media, we need your help now more than ever to support It's Academic. Please make a donation and become a friend of It's Academic today and help keep It's Academic on the air and streaming for our students and their futures. The scores are now official. We begin with Einstein from Montgomery County, home of the Titans. Alexandria Maeve Etienne, 280 points. From Alexandria City, home of the Titans, Max Ethan Miles, 425 points, winning that 25-point bonus. Awesome, guys. And Thomas Jefferson High School of Science and Technology. I'm not sure we've ever had a score this high, getting every single question right. Anthony Arushi Matthew, 785 points. That was okay. Anyway, we are so glad that you were with us today. I'm Hillary Howard. See you next time. And remember, everybody, it's academic. Bye-bye. See ya.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University. All together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.